CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
An elderly man's recovering in the hospital tonight after being struck in a marked crosswalk at a busy downtown Victoria intersection. Police taped off the Blanchard and Fairfield Road intersection this morning after a man in his 60s was hit while crossing on a green light. It happened at about 10 o'clock. Police say a driver was trying to make a left turn onto Blanchard, ran right into the pedestrian, who bounced off the front hood of the vehicle and slammed into the windshield. The police crash team was brought in to piece it together.
We will be looking at the timing of all the lights, the opportunities for the pedestrian to cross, and also speaking to any witnesses that we have. These are things that you cannot recreate after the event. So we have to seal the road off at the time, gather all the evidence that we may need for prosecution later on down the road, and if it determines that the injuries are not so significant, then we can always release everything, but we can never come back and recreate it.
The pedestrian was taken to Victoria General Hospital with non-life-threatening but significant injuries. So far, police are not recommending charges in the case. Wilkinson Road Jail in Saanich had some extra security patrolling the perimeter this morning. A cougar spotted prowling outside the wire. The big cat was seen walking near the perimeter of the jail by some corrections officers. Police were called, but by the time they arrived, the big cat had moved on. The cougar was in a wooded area and was in his usual habitat, so conservation officers were not called in. Police say people in the area should be aware of the sighting and keep an eye on pets and children. Meantime, people living in BC's flood-ravaged interior may soon get a break from the heavy rain as a drier trend is heading their way. Until then, people are sandbagging in the hopes of protecting their communities from the still rising floodwaters. Almost 700 people in several interior towns still can't go back to their homes because of the evacuation orders. Flash flooding uprooted homes, tossed cars and trucks like dinky toys, and washed out bridges and major roads. One of the hardest hit communities is Sicamous, east of Salmon Arm. A local state of emergency remains in effect in Creston as well because of flooding on the Kootenay River. 35 homes have been placed in evacuation alert there. If you are intending to travel through that area over the upcoming long weekend, you should check out drivebc.ca for any traffic advisories first. Well, an update now on a story CTV News first brought you last night that has touched the hearts of many of our viewers. There's been an outpouring of support for a couple in the Comox Valley who will be rushing to the altar because the bride-to-be is fighting a terminal illness. More than $6,800 has been raised already for the lovebirds so far, thanks to our CTV News viewers. The pair are high school sweethearts. They've been engaged for 5 years, but never found the perfect time to walk the aisle. The bride has been diagnosed with cancer and told that her condition is terminal. Her days are numbered. Her fiancé is trying to raise enough money to help fulfill her last wish to marry the love of her life. If you have helped out, thank you. If you'd still like to, there's plenty of opportunity. Go to indiegogo.com. A Central Saanich therapeutic farm is calling on the government to push through its land use application so it can get back in business and help others get back on their feet. The farm is teaming up with a group called Close to Home in order to gain more support to help get the farm back up and running in full operation. The Close to Home group is made up of parents who say that the Woodwind farm has changed their lives forever. Woodwind helps rehabilitate people in need but had to lay off staff and cut programs last July to get a permit to rezone the land. In April, the BC Agricultural Land Commission denied the application, but the farm has applied again since. Woodwind says it's important that people see they don't have to live on the streets, that they can carve out a life by living off the land.
It's a heck of a message to walk downtown and know that people don't have to be there. They don't have to be panhandling. There is a different way to be, and there are different solutions.
As a mother who has a son who struggles with addiction, when he first became an addict, when I first found out that he was an addict, a lot of people, he's a waste of skin. He's my son, and he has compassion, and I love him, and he deserves to be able to have access to treatment.
Woodwind Farm relies on private funding and donations. The farm says it does have the money to operate. It just needs to have the proper permits to get the land in full operation. Currently, it only has one man living on the farm. RCMP and Nanaimo are turning to you for help tonight as in their hopes of finding a man who's been missing for nearly 4 months. He is 46-year-old Harry Boxall, last seen at his home in Nanaimo on March 9th. Boxall is 5'10", weighs 140 pounds, and has medical issues that require medication. RCMP say he does not own a vehicle and he has limited access to money. If anyone has any information on his whereabouts, they're asked to call the Nanaimo RCMP or Crime Stoppers.